Hi everybody, Alasia Gray here, actress, educator, activist, all around Black girl magic personified. I love doing social justice pieces and theater for young audiences. I made history here in Denver playing Sleeping Beauty as a Black actress. I also do on-camera work, and in my career, I have come across some of the most less than smart comments regarding race. And I am so excited to share some of them in a series that I call Acting While Black. Now, all of these statements or experiences actually happened. And I have to preface it with this because oftentimes Black women are not believed. So, as you gasp in disbelief or laugh because of the ridiculousness of the statements, or even embarrassed because you might have been one to have said something dumb to me, I just want to remind you all that I am actually the one who had to endure these comments, all while trying to do my job. So, everybody buckle up and enjoy Acting While Black. Start with a broad one. All ethnicities encouraged to audition. Can you give us a bit more attitude like Oprah? Whoo. When you raise the "this could be a potentially racist moment" comment for the good of the show, and everyone is silent. Followed by moments later, "that's interesting." Do you think you only get cast because you're Black? Ooh, you need to watch Bring It On. Now that one was a choreographer's implying that I couldn't dance because my body was naturally rejecting the way she was choreographing hip hop. Do you know blank? He's a Black actor too. Laughter from colleagues in response to me saying, I don't do slave roles. Can you help us find colored actors? Ooh. Oh, hair. Oh, let me count the ways. Can I touch your hair? Not understanding our texture, hair budget, knowing that braids and twists require maintenance for the long run of a show, different products that work for our hair and not others. Ooh, someone even asked me once if I went out and bought a piece because they didn't think that I could possibly naturally grow my hair this way, and this is actually my natural hair. Yeah, let's table that one because there's so many things. Did you see blank theater company's statement about how diverse their season was? Well, what does that mean for me? Now I can never audition there. Welcome to the party. My former boss, when I asked why the show that should have been cast all Black wasn't, well, I wanted a multicultural cast. Is there a reason why your makeup is so dark? When I asked for my acting achievements to be highlighted in an article for an organization that I left and wasn't on good terms with, but for them to be highlighted as everyone else in the articles were, I was told not everything is a slight. Yeah. On set filming a series about gentrification and being Black in a gentrified neighborhood, after residents yelled at me about how I couldn't afford to live there, and then another drove by and hurled the N-word at me, I was told, use it for the seed. Let's not loan out the Alasia colored blank. Yeah. Whew, oh, thank goodness, a break. Ha! Kids say the darndest things. Bonus round, ding, 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 ding. Now, kids do say the darndest things. And as I mentioned, I'm an educator and I've worked all across the state at several organizations, in schools, many schools. I direct children's theater. I run my own programming, which is very successful. But one of the organizations that I used to work at is the largest arts organization in our state. And man, what I endured there. And you know, again, the kid comments, they say the darndest things, like I said. But when I spoke up about racism and the systemic racism specifically at this organization, ooh-wee, let's get into it. So kid statement wise, I've heard, are you from Africa? Why are your hands two different colors? Slavery is bad. Says who? I don't appreciate brown skin. This is followed by this child actually doing this to me anytime I would try to touch them because they didn't want my brown skin to touch them. Oh, my bosses told me to flag that, let it go. So-and-so is allergic to black people. Now that one I was told to ignore and not discuss with my class as well. So as I said, I am not one for the shenanigans, and as I continue to speak up about racism happening amongst children, towards myself, towards kids of color, was I put in my place. And actually, this organization was one of the most systemically racist environment I have ever been in my entire life. And that's saying a lot. So here's what happened when I continued to speak up and document for over a year. And I worked there for 5. I was put on disciplinary action. I had my job threatened. I had my classes monitored. I was forced to have weekly check-ins, one of which left me away from my class for an hour in tears. Hostile work environment. I had an acting opportunity adversely affected. Microaggressions. I was silenced and told to not speak about any of the above. The last 2 are my favorites. So this first one, especially because I facilitate race conversations all the time. I tour a whole show about it. And hello. But I was told, you are not a resource to discuss race issues. And then this last one, bondage at its finest. You can't teach across the street because we need to keep you close and in the building. That, alongside with being called the N-word, is probably the most disgusting thing that has ever been said to me. I obviously have since left that organization. So, as I mentioned, to wrap all these things up, this is what happens acting while black and educating while black. And I just want to speak to trauma really quickly as well, because for a lot of these instances, you have to shake them off in the name of doing your job and just move on. But some instances, like my former workplace, stick with you, and that is trauma. So that's a story for another time and another series. But what I will say, theater community, do better for Black women. Respect Black women. Listen to Black women. Appreciate Black women. And believe Black women. Check your white privilege. Check your implicit bias. Check those microaggressions. And do better. Also, remember, Black lives matter. On stage and in real life. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you for my next series.